As a grant maker, I would encourage you to also think about how are you using evidence in your decision making. When it comes to choosing the grants that you choose, what's the evidence that you're making the right decision? How do you know that you're an effective grant maker? Getting really clear about that, I think, is a great place for grant makers to begin. I think for many grant makers and program officers and people at these institutions, it can be challenging to know, are you doing a good job or not? And the metrics you might fall back on are, did I push out more money than I did last year? Did I do it faster than I did it last year? And push beyond that and ask yourselves, what's the evidence that I'm making the right decisions when it comes to creating change in the world? I think we've entered into almost a stories arms race as a sector where we're trying to claim bigger and bigger results to get attention and to get funding and to get resources directed our way. So we have to be realistic about what it is that we actually accomplish, the change that we actually create, and then we need to be really clear about how will I know that's occurring? What's the evidence in the world? How do I know at the end of the day if I did a good job or not? What's the observable things in our world that I can see that validate, that provide evidence about whether that change is occurring or not? If you have excellent evidence that what you're doing is not working, like, good on you, right? I think we need to be willing to admit that not everything we're going to do is going to work, and we need to have the courage to admit that and to look at that and to own that. It's much better than the case of not having evidence that what we're doing is not working. It's much better to be in the case where we have actual evidence to utilize, because then we can course correct. Then we can figure out, all right, that didn't work, let's find something that does. It's much better than being in the environment where you just don't know. I absolutely believe that we over-rely on the individual institution, the individual change maker. We have great organizations. There's great organizations here in Melbourne and in Australia. There's great organizations doing work all over the world. But a single organization will rarely solve the problems that we care about. We're dealing with hugely complex systems, hugely complex problems, and the way to address that is in collaboration. It's by working better together towards shared goals. And I think we're going to see more of that kind of work. If we really want to tackle the complex social problems that our world faces today, we have to do that in collaboration. Organizations need to be very patient when trying to undergo this kind of transformation. This work is transformational, and it really requires time to change an entire organization. And so we should absolutely be patient. We should be generous with ourselves. We should be okay with failures. We should recognize that we're going to make mistakes. And there's tremendous, I think, a tremendous gift in giving ourselves a little patience.